Hello and welcome to the history of Stargate. Omega Ordain coming at you with the history of Anise. And here we go. Anise is a Tok'ra and the symbiote of Freya. She is an able scientist and archaeologist. Anise says her name means noble strength. In the year 2000, SG1 first met Anise when she brought the Atanik armbands and requested that they take part in her experiment. However, when she approached them about a mission to destroy Apophis Battleship, Major General George S. Hammond believed that she knew of the ship all along and planned an attack using the SG1 team. After this experiment with the armbands, the members of SG1 were somewhat distrustful of Anise. When Shanak came to Stargate Command with the offer of allowing her symbiote to join the Tok'ra, Anise was sent to Earth to hear the offer. She returned to Vorash to speak with the Tok'ra High Council. She returned and informed SG1 that the Tok'ra has accepted her offer and found Shanak a new symbiote. After Tanith was blended with Hebron and Shanak was found dead, she suspected Tanith was the culprit, but the council planned to use him to provide misinformation to the Goa'uld. When the Tok'ra and Tok'ra were in the process of negotiating a treaty, she was present when Major Thomas Graham attacked Supreme High Counselor Perseus and then committed suicide. She determined he was a Zatar and that the Goa'uld had attempted to stop the treaty. She traveled to Earth to use a Zartak detector on members of Stargate Command. She determined that Lieutenant Louise Astor, Major Samantha Carter, and Colonel Jack O'Neill were Zatarks. While O'Neill was locked in isolation, Frida told him that she was attracted to him, but Anise prefers Dr. Daniel Jackson. He declined her advances and she left. Later, she convinced him to use the Zartak detector to remove the programming, but was stopped when Carter realized that they weren't telling the whole truth. She tested them both again and came up negative. O'Neill asked if she had been tested and she said that she had not been in a position to be made a Zatark. By the year 2009, Anise had gained a seat on the Tok'ra High Council and is present when SG1 visits to investigate the kidnapping of Dr. Carolyn Lamb and the theft of the Time Jumper by 3 rogue Tok'ra operatives. Unlike Perseus and Saltar, Anise is more uncooperative, with her behavior arousing SG1 suspicion about her potential involvement in the mission. Anise reveals that the team leader Marek had proposed traveling back in time to a spawning when they could have retrieved a larval queen to replenish the Tok'ra line, and made it clear that while the rest of the High Council thought the idea was too dangerous, she was in support of it. When Perseus offered to lead the High Council to be questioned first, Anise objected and was overruled. Anise was connected to the Zartak detector to ensure that she was telling the truth when she was to be questioned by Dr. Daniel Jackson. Daniel told Mitchell that Colonel Samantha Carter was still angry enough at Anise over the Zartak incident to want to kill her, while Daniel had a cooler head despite all that Anise had put SG1 through in the past. Anise continued to protest, but when Zaltor refused to budge, Freya took over and asked to talk in private before the interrogation and explained to Daniel that Anise had things she didn't want the High Council to know about. Though Freya insisted that Anise's reluctance stemmed from political arguments, Daniel didn't buy it, as he felt Anise was either working with Marek or at least giving him passive support. Anise then took back over and promised to tell what she knew if they sent Saltor away, and threatened to make things more complicated for them. But Daniel refused, knowing that while Anise could do what she said, she would risk angering the High Council and the alliance with the Tok'ra, which the Tok'ra desperately needed at the moment. Seeing no other choice, Anise and Freya finally agreed to cooperate. Anise explained that Marek had gone to seek out their forebearer, Agrita, and convince her to spawn again so that the Tok'ra could survive, with the Zarek detector confirming that she told the whole truth. Anise explained further that Marek sought to find Agrita on Earth at their earliest collective memory of her life, with their memories of Agrita's life while she was in the service of King Nama, and before not being very clear. Anise revealed that the time period she meant was after the rebellion against Ra and near the Stargate, which was open again for a time when Agrita was present. After Saltor revealed that Agrita herself was a time traveler, both she and Anise suggested that Marek or one of his teams may have already been Agrita herself, or that he could induce Agrita to spawn a queen. that he could bring back in his own host or another host, leaving SG1 to deal with the complications of possibly changing the timeline by stopping Mark's plans. Background information. Anise was introduced as a means to combat the rating climb achieved by Star Trek Voyager's introduction of a sexy female cast member, 7 of 9, played by Jeri Ryan, a couple of years earlier. Peter DeLuise explained that after reviewing the ratings and determining that the series was performing fine as it is, the character of Anise was scrapped. Ironically, Vanessa Angel also auditioned for the role of 7 of 9 on Voyager, prior to Jeri Ryan accepting the role. Thank you for watching the history of Stargate. Special thanks to the Stargate Wiki, SG Command, and all contributors for all information you heard today. Very special thanks to my Patreons and to Royalty Free Tube for this fantastic background. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. These things really help the channel grow. Thank you and have a great day. Bye-bye.